Sandra?
Thank you, John. Brad Pascale is out as President Trump's campaign manager, the president replacing him amid sinking poll numbers less than 4 months before the election. The latest national poll showing Joe Biden ahead 52-37 now. Joining us is Trump 2020 campaign National Press Secretary Hogan Gidley. Hogan, great to have you back. Good morning to you. So first off, Fox News is reporting, according to our sources, that Pascale was expected to stay on through the election as the campaign manager, and that staffers inside the campaign were surprised and shocked by this change. Were you?
I was not. We talk all the time. I've worked with Brad Pascale now for many years, and I've worked with Bill Stepien for many years as well. And while the D.C. elite and the establishment and the media really care about the palace intrigue stories like this, it doesn't really affect the American people at all. Titles consume so many here in the Beltway bubble, but for those at home, they just want to make sure their lives are better. Donald Trump has made their lives better. He's improved every American life since taking office. That's what we're going to focus on out there. And let's be clear what happened here. The only thing that shifted was Donald Trump simply asked Bill to steer the ship and Brad to man the guns.
Right, because Pascale's not out altogether. He's been demoted. He'll be in a different position. Yeah. So Hogan, but why? I would argue again. I would argue a couple things. First of all, he's not demoted. What Brad is focusing on is the digital strategy. Look, he's built something no one thought possible, raising money at clips that are at historic levels. I mean, we've raised enough money where Joe Biden would have to raise more than $1 million a day to even come close to catching us, and he still wouldn't do it. Bill Stepien, in his own right, smart, very talented, very politically savvy, been in and out of this town his entire career. So I'm looking forward to working with them both. The staff knows both of them. They love both of them. They love working with both of them. And so Brad's going to focus on one thing. Bill's going to focus on the other. But both are working toward victory for the American people, and that means a victory for Donald Trump. I'll ask you about Bill Stepien in just a second, but Jonathan Swan at Axios is reporting this morning that the president lost confidence in Pascale after the Tulsa debacle. The numbers of people that did not eventually show up, the president wasn't happy with that. Are the two connected?
I'm not aware if they are. I can just tell you that Tulsa, while the media tries to malign the event itself, 11 million people viewed that event across many platforms, breaking all types of records. In fact, 7 million on your own network, Sandra, watched and viewed that rally. People want to get out of their homes. They want to do it, though, in a safe manner. We provide safety when people show up to events that we do, whether it be hand sanitizer, temperature checks, or providing masks to everyone with the encouragement to wear them. So we're looking forward to getting back to the real issues that matter, and whether they be in rallies, whether they be at online events, you know, we're going to be successful either way.
Who is Bill Stepien, and why did President Trump choose him to manage his campaign?
Bill's been a friend of mine for quite some time now. We worked together at the White House. Very politically savvy, knows the landscape from coast to coast, and it's very exciting this time in the campaign. Look, both men are great, as I mentioned. Bill's moving in as the campaign manager, and that's a good move. No slight on Brad; he's wonderful as well. But the fact is, the president, runs his campaign, and with 110 days left to go, as I mentioned, Bill is going to man the ship, Brad is going to man the guns, and we're going to move forward together to get this president reelected so that the American people continue to succeed.
I've got a short time left. Talk about strategy. Throw up the latest Quinnipiac poll. We're talking about it this morning. This is on handling the economy. The president has triumphed on this portion of the polling for quite some time. It's changing. Joe Biden's leading in that latest poll, 50-45%. Wall Street Journal on battleground state polling. You look at what is happening there. Biden leading by 12 points, 52-40%. This campaign shakeup follows those polls being released. You're saying the two are not connected, but what do you do strategy-wise? What is leadership in your campaign going to do to turn those poll numbers around?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, I wouldn't buy those polls. The same Quinnipiac poll you just pointed out had Hillary Clinton up 11 over Donald Trump in 2016. What do you know? They have Joe Biden up 11 now. So all the pollsters who got things wrong in 2016 are using the same methodology. And what's worse is the media who report this, these strategists and pundits and poll watchers out there on all these other networks, they know these polls are weighted toward Democrats. They know they sample and ask questions of more Democrats.
Okay, but is there going to be a shift in strategy at the campaign? That's the question.
Well, look, the strategy is to continue to go directly to the American people and explain how this president has worked to improve their lives. As I've mentioned on your show before, the compare and contrast with Donald Trump and Joe Biden is stark. You don't have to guess what America would look like under Joe Biden. You've seen it. The economy was horrible. The city streets are devolving into lawlessness. And all he says is, should we defund the police? Yes, comma, absolutely.
He's not saying to defund the police. He's not calling to defund the police. That's a
He was asked about defunding, and he said yes, absolutely. And he said that the police are actually becoming the enemy. So you don't have to guess. Your job isn't safe, your life isn't safe, and your American way of life is not safe with Joe Biden because his policies just wage war on all three.
Hogan Gidley, come back soon. Appreciate you coming on from the Trump campaign. Hogan Gidley, thank you. See you again soon.
Thanks.
All right, John.